So, a few days ago, someone heard me talking about the losses that have occurred during the last major bleaching event in the coral reefs of the world and asked me an interesting question. So, if the coral are dying so fast and conditions aren't changing, is coral restoration even worth trying? Well, in my opinion, that's the same as asking, is humanity worth saving? The reason I say that is because the more we learn and understand about the seas, the more it appears if the ecosystems of the coral perish, much of the marine life that we take for granted will follow. In the event that the seas die, life as we know it on this planet will not survive. Mass extinction will become the politics of the earth and no votes left to cast. Today I'm going to take you below the surface to show you some fun and amazing things while I give you some very good reasons we should focus on the survival of the corals. Tomorrow I'm going to tell you what's being done and take you behind the curtain to show you how we can make a sustainable future for us all. This first little clip is a random coral head with some colorful sponges attached. The spiny thing waving at you is a sea urchin. The feather dusters are tube worms. Watch closely as they disappear when they sense a disturbance in the force. Don't miss the hidden surprise. The pictures you see here today are the most compelling reason to protect the reefs for me. Perhaps not the number one reason, as you will see, but certainly an emotional motivation. The corals are another of the creatures of the sea that are so diverse and so amazing in their makeup and functionality that it challenges the imagination. These tiny little animals live in colony groups and make their collective apartments from calcium they process from the sea. Inside the tissue of each of these polyps is an algae that uses photosynthesis to produce sugars and oxygen to help feed the colony. The kaleidoscope of color and texture that results from this unique group is one of the most inspiring things on our planet. These next few films are bristleworms. They are primarily scavengers, but occasionally dine on corals, as we will see. Weird and beautiful, but beware. Watch what happens when they get disturbed. Those hairy-looking brushes are actually poison spines and will cause severe pain if you happen to touch them. I think one of the most important reasons for us to become aware and concerned about the fate of coral is that they are indirectly responsible for a large part of the production of oxygen by our oceans. At least half of the oxygen in our atmosphere is produced by the ocean ecosystems, while absorbing about 40% of the carbon dioxide created by human impact. Think you can get by if you only use every other breath? Seems like a better long-term strategy might be to pay a little more attention to saving some coral. Another reason for acknowledging coral is that through the centuries they have built up a topography of ridges, canyons, and forests made of the live rock of their self-created skeletons and bases. This ever-changing landscape is home for a complex diversity of life forms and types that would humble the imagination of the most creative fiction writer. It is the breeding ground and nursery for over 25% of the world's marine life, and is the cornerstone of the ocean fisheries. Probably not a fact we should ignore. Unfortunately, it is easy to ignore and forget because it is out of sight and not a part of our daily awareness. This, in spite of the fact that a huge percentage of the population depends on the health of the coral reefs. Fishing enterprises ranging from subsistence to commercial depend on an ecosystem balanced and nourished by coral influences. Tourism, recreation, coastal protection, even medical advantages are important aspects of healthy corals worldwide. They are indeed the elephant in the room that nobody can see. And here's a perfect example of something that I almost did not see because its disguise is incredible. This is a lettuce slug, about 4 inches long and happy to be a film star. No hurry though, probably not a good competitor in a snail race. There is, however, a sense of urgency in the need to act aggressively for the future of our coral reefs. The destruction caused by temperature and acidity increases, overfishing, and chemical runoff have destroyed over 40% of the world's reefs in the last 20 years. Every year sees more and larger losses. The consensus among international academics and restoration practitioners in the field is that if we do not act immediately, using the technologies known to us, the coral reefs on this planet will be entirely gone in the next 30 years. Given what you have already heard, that should strike you as an important reason to consider supporting restoration efforts. The good news is the technology exists to create and enhance a seed bank of vibrant and resistant corals. New discoveries are being advanced every year. Larger community actions are becoming more prevalent. Knowledge is being shared and techniques are being internationally recognized. If you made it this far in this film, you are part of a growing awareness of this perilous situation facing the very future of humanity. That alone is making a difference in public response and participation. I can think of a few more reasons to regard coral and coral reef health as an important part of your near and long-term future. But I want to leave you with the knowledge that it is not too late. In spite of events like the current worldwide coral bleaching that has occurred in recent months, we can make it possible to restart a balanced and sustainable marine ecosystem. But we must act immediately. The impact of this bleaching on the waters where we operate is an acute wake-up call. We are indeed in a serious race against time. The technology is not overtly expensive or operationally prohibitive, but it isn't free. We can build what is ultimately needed a piece at a time. We can start with preservation and add to the system until we can achieve propagation and then dissemination. It's that simple. Right now, a few $1,000s is standing between the eventual collapse of this archipelago ecosystem or the potential restoration of what was once one of the most dramatic corners of the world. This effort is not about me. I have made my decision long ago. I have dedicated my life and all my resources to saving the ocean in a place far, far from a home and country I love. This is about you. Do you care enough about your future, the future of your friends and family, the future of humanity, to help me continue the fight for you? Let's win this thing together. So when you come down here someday and see the beauty of what we will create, you can honestly say, wow, I helped do this. We can do this. Make it happen now.